The boys were called edgy, told they'd never make it past 5 episodes. Well, here those podcast jerks are, back for season 2. The Boys in the Woods podcast. The show your mother warned you about, and that your dad was hiding in the basement listening to. Get ready for the Boys in the Woods podcast.
Welcome back, Charles.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. That's a nice shirt you got on there.
That is.
That guy. You can find that shirt, the one behind me, hats, and many more. And of course, boysinthewoods906.shop. That's boysinthewoods906.shop. That's boysinthewoods906.shop.
We were blessed to have this episode. We have I guess you can't call them a sponsor, but definitely going to be having them on here.
A special friend to the show, a special new friend to the show. Absolutely. And who this person is, they are Old Glory Beef Jerky. And you can find their products and their long list of products, of course, at oldglorybeefjerky.com. That's oldglorybeefjerky.com. And what we have here is we have some products. They sent us some products. So let me tell you a little bit about them from the information I'm pulling right from their website. Their mission, and this is actually, we can speak on the absolute truth of this. Before this moment, I had not read their mission. I have known about what Patrick has told. I love beef jerky. So when he had mentioned something about beef jerky, I said, yes, beef jerky. So their mission, Old Glory Beef Jerky, is dedicated to crafting premium quality beef jerky that upholds traditional values. We proudly stand apart from prevailing woke culture narratives. Our jerky is designed for those who power America's industries and defend our freedom. At Old Glory, we embrace resilience and strength with a commitment to providing a product tailored for the hardworking and patriotic. Here at Old Glory, we are dedicating to supporting our veterans. With every bag of jerky purchased, 25 cents will be donated to a charity directly supporting veterans and their families. So crazy part about this, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
They find out that I'm a veteran and the podcast is veteran, and we're very pro-veteran. And before we even read this, Pat's like, "Hey, let us buy some beef jerky from you, and let us do a live review on the air." And they ended up talking back and forth. Well, long story short, he's like, "Yo, y'all veteran, sending you 4 bags."
Yeah, we got every flavor of beef jerky we're gonna try today.
So go through the flavors for them.
All right, today we have the original. We're going to be trying the Korean barbecue recipe. We've got, can't never go wrong with some teriyaki. And as well, we have some pepper. Some
good old pep.
Pep.
Peppered. All right, so let's just jump right into this. So we've got the original.
The original.
All right.
I want you to give me a flavor that comes out of your mouth as well. Like what are you tasting?
I'm hoping to taste the. I'm liking how it looks. Smells good too. All right, we're just going to jump right into this. You know, it doesn't fall apart in your mouth into a million pieces.
No, absolutely not. It holds together real well.
But it's melting as you chew.
Right. It's breaking down.
Mm-hmm. It's a little on the spicy side.
Yeah, for an original, it's a little bit. If you like a little bit more of a kick in your original barbecue.
Yeah.
I can taste like some cayenne pepper, some possibly like soy saucey type stuff, a little bit of that jerk that you get with a Caribbean jerk.
I gotta tell you, that's some good beef jerky.
Yeah, for original, that's good.
That's some good beef jerky.
little bit of bite.
I'm already sweating. I've lost the ability. I've lost the ability to take a drink. I just drizzled all over myself. This is exciting.
So the original, Charles, out of 10, what do you give the original?
I mean, for me, it's on the peppered side.
Yeah.
So I know the wife would like it. I'm probably gonna have to give it a solid 7.
Yeah, I got 7.5.
Yeah, I give it a solid 7. I mean, it doesn't take a lot I mean, my face is turning red too. I mean, you put too much ketchup on a hot dog, I'm gonna sweat my ass off, right? So,
Too much ketchup.
too much.
You don't like you don't like spice.
Yeah, yeah.
I can
I
handle
am.
it.
I am
like
that Scottish Caucasian. I enjoy the flavor of palates on the food. I just recently got back into some arugula.
Oh, arugula, yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving the arugula. So let's jump into the Korean barbecue now. Let's jump into the Korean barbecue. Yeah. Smells good. Damn, it smells good. Again, same consistency. Same consistency throughout these beef jerkies. I'm really liking it. Smells delicious. Here we go. That's good.
Yeah.
And that flavored really well. This is going really well. We're going from original to this.
I can't get past the fact that it's breaking down so easy.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever had beef jerky that's broken down,
so sweet.
yeah,
So
sweet.
nice.
Almost
I
like
like the Korean
brown
barbecue
sugar.
one.
I can taste that brown sugar in there for sure. That's good stuff.
I like the Korean barbecue one. This is a solid 7.5.
I'm gonna give this one an 8. I like this one. Just a smidge better than the other one.
This one's so good. This one's so good. I mean, the original was good.
And
This one's
Charles,
so good.
I did give you one, but every package of Old Glory beef jerky comes with a toothpick.
A toothpick, bro.
A-
I was
a
losing
monster.
it.
Okay, this is something I've never seen in barbecue, beef jerky, anything like that. Any of them. No brand has ever done this.
When I was looking through the bag,
marketing.
that's so fun. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because when I was looking through the bag, I pulled it up and I said, "Oh, Mandy must have packed these for sure."
Yeah. She gave you a toothpick.
Rachel goes, "Oh, that's so sweet." No, it's them. Hey, oh man, that's the bee's knees.
Shout out Old Glory for putting that flosser.
Way to be a forward thinker on that. I'm looking forward to asking them.
Came up with that
about that.
idea.
I'm looking forward to asking them about that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we're gonna go right with the pepper. I'm ready to.
I got the little pepper flakes flying around in my bag. I don't know about you. But...
Yeah. Oh yeah. My eyes are on fire right now.
Your eyes are on fire thinking about this one.
Again, the same consistency. I'm loving this throughout all the flavors, all of the. It's the same thing.
If you haven't noticed it, you don't have the bag, but it says small batch, premium small batch. So these are very small batches of jerky. You're paying for this a little bit, but the price is really not that bad. No. And yeah, look at this. Look at this. You don't get that. You don't get that at Jack Link's.
The thing and not to make this whose cojones are bigger, right? But the thing I dislike about the mass-produced items, man, this is good.
Yeah.
I know it's just peppered, but this is good.
It's peppered, but you don't. At first, you get the sweet, and you get that barbecue-y, I don't know if it's barbecue flavored. This has, I mean, it's got some kind of sauce in there. We'll have to ask them what they use. Well, I guess we can't ask them too much.
Hopefully, it's a secret sauce. Yeah,
that heat comes on slow with the peppered. It's not like the original. The original is kind of like in your face. This is a slow burn. I can see you. I can see you kind of. Yeah, it's starting to slow burn a little bit.
It's starting to creep up a little bit. I enjoyed it though.
I like
it was good. It stopped me mid-sentence, and I'm not a hots guy. It's starting to kick in a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's left on the tongue.
For me, this is like a 7. This is a 7 for me. I keep it.
I'm gonna keep it steady. I'm gonna keep it straight. Yeah, I love it being a 7. I enjoy
And
that.
for me, the reason why it's a 7 and they're all consistent is because I keep saying this barbecue, but this beef jerky it's the flavor. It all has this very good sweet flavor, and it's holding consistency throughout all of them. I love it. It's really good stuff.
Well, what I was saying too before and then teriyaki to finish it off. But
Oh yeah, teriyaki.
before. So
Yeah, you go into it right after we try this one in here.
Yeah, well, I'd still hear. The thing I dislike the most about your mass-produced items is that it's not quality, it's quantity. So what you get with these types of companies, these types of people, is you get their heart and soul added into the production of their product, and you could really taste it. And so one of the local places around here, Lamers, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy their chocolate milk. It's very, very good.
Everybody does.
It's creamy. It's rich. You can tell they go above and beyond for their product. And same thing with this beef jerky.
We're up in the UP. We got Gilbert's. We're all spoiled. Morning Glory, all that stuff.
Gilbert's, man, growing up, it was so good. Gilbert's ice cream.
Yeah.
The only thing even comparable is the cedar crust now. I like the teriyaki too.
This one is your sweet.
I like going from the hot to the sweet.
Like we did a good job picking those out in order. Man, this one really does melt in your mouth. This one literally falls apart in your mouth. Yep. Wow, unbelievable.
I'm going to give this one a 7.5. We're going to get out of here. Overall, I think 7.2. 7.2 is solid.
Yeah. This is my favorite. I give this one an 8. That was my favorite.
Nice. Well, we'll keep your scale. I like your scale.
We're at a 7.6.
7.6. Yeah. 7.6, 7.7.
Yeah, we're good.
The best part about this, right? I'm telling you that one of the best parts about this is the hidden gem. This little toothpick. Because I'm going to be sitting here this whole show going, just like my grandpa had growing up.
I've never seen that's such great marketing.
I know.
To put a little toothpick flosser in with
it's not like a cheap ass one either. It's not like a cheap one. Oh, no.
Well, and how many people are always constantly picking in their teeth after they're eating, pulled pork or, even steak. Steak places don't even give you that. Like a steak restaurant, they give you I guess you can get a toothpick, like a wooden one, but what good is that, right? Just break it.
Done. Flavor's still left in the mouth. I enjoyed it. a lot. I would.
It was really good.
I love beef jerky. I would highly recommend going out and purchasing yourselves some Old Glory. Beef jerky. And again, you can get right on their website, oldglorybeefjerky.com. That's oldglorybeefjerky.com. Oh,
that was good.
That was delicious. That was a great way to start the show. Great way to start the show. I'm the kind of
person that sits there and eat a whole bag of beef jerky too.
I'm so excited. I didn't want to. I was looking at it all day. I didn't want to try it because I didn't want to, the real reaction. It's the thing about the internet. Something that it drives me nuts. At one point, people are like going around in GTA and getting these views online, and people are screaming, "I hope they take their license." I'm like, you got to be kidding me! It's the internet. How are you losing this much touch with reality?
Yeah, well, this is a good segue because a coworker and I were down in Racine this past week, and this is hilarious. He brought up Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
All right,
GTA we are coming out soon.
Adam, shout out Adam. Adam and I are at a stop sign, and we're waiting to go. And I said, the lights are all red. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, it's going to turn green. And he's like, what's this guy creeping up for? All of a sudden, there is this lady in this old Crown Vic, and she is just freaking rolling down the freaking road. Her head, I kid you, her head couldn't even reach the steering wheel. She's like,
it's like my grandma had now.
Yes, she's driving like this. And she must have been going 45, 50 right through that red light. That red light was red for 4 or 5 seconds. Adam's like, she's coming. She's not stopping. She went rolling through there. And I was like, holy shit. Not only did she go through that one, she went Grand Theft Auto style through the other 3 lights. Whew, didn't hit a car. There's cars stopping. I had never seen stuff like that. It's like a New York City movie.
That's like the definition of Jesus take the wheel.
Exactly.
Straight up. I am done with this. If I got to buy groceries in this inflated state one more time,
He looked at me. He's like, "You think she had a stroke?" I said, "She didn't have a stroke. She just doesn't give a shit."
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
wasn't
you see
stopping
the
for
dash cam
nothing.
videos all the time of people having stroke. The car doesn't go straight. That
Oh yeah,
was
she just wasn't
that
going
was
straight. I don't think she
that
could
was
see.
seriously
I don't think
Jesus
she could
take the
see.
wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, I have problems every day with minivans, though. Every
Yeah,
day.
you
So
you have this minivan kick. You don't really like the minivans too much.
no, and it's not about the people in the minivan so much, even though they're the ones who are driving.
Right.
I feel like it just ends up being this. I don't know, man. I don't know. Me and minivans, we don't mix. So lots going
Yeah.
on in the world of sports today. And again, one more shout out. That was delicious. I still have the flavor in my
Absolutely
mouth to
fantastic beef
Old
jerky.
Glory beef jerky. Y'all got to go check it out. All y'all out there, everybody. So, big news. We'll go.
Butterflies.
We'll do a few moments of sports. We'll catch up on the big TikToks, flip flops, and then I've got a whole bunch of cool little things, and you have a whole bunch of cool things. I know
Yeah,
on my end, they include one of the first pizzerias in Chicago, a little bit more about Skittles, and fingernail clippers. What rabbit hole time. Can't
I
wait.
rabbit hole the fingernail
I
clippers.
rabbit hole the fingernail
I'm
clippers. I
scratching my
couldn't
head right
believe
now
it.
with this one.
So we'll jump right into this. Bill Belichick not getting hired by the Falcons.
Okay,
What do we think of this?
There's two things. Two things I think about this. He either A, wanted way too much control over the team or demanded too much control over the team.
Yeah.
Or B, the NFL's giving them the middle finger and they're just saying, dude, you and freaking Pete Carroll just need to retire. This is a young man's game. I don't know. Tell me what you're thinking.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. For me, I believe it's more the writing on the wall, right? I mean, since Tom Brady's left, he's had a punt returner and a punter be selected to the Pro Bowl. I mean, he's selected people like Mac Jones over multiple others, and you can point that out about a bunch of organizations. But everyone keeps referring to this gentleman as a 6-time Super Bowl winning coach, when in reality, Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls and then went to Tampa and won a Super Bowl.
All right. Yeah,
I mean, we gotta start talking about that. Like, it means something here.
They will. I mean, that's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame speech when they bring it up. Somebody's going to mention that.
And is he just chasing wins
with Brady? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is he just there really to chase the wins?
Chasing history for sure.
Because you gotta think, and I mean, and I've heard nothing but great things about Raheem Morris, right? Outside of the fact that he was terrible with the Buccaneers, and then Bruce Arians came in, and maybe that was a Tom Brady thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know too much about him,
but I can tell you that, I mean, his record at Tampa Bay wasn't great. And okay, so he's been with the Rams, right? But
it was a Rams.
Everybody more or less concedes the fact that Matt Stafford is the reason the Rams won the Super Bowl.
I mean, we pretty much either him or they gave a lot of credit to McVay. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we're being honest, I watch a lot of sports. I listen to a lot of sports.
Want to get 100% completely honest with me?
I didn't even know he was the defensive coordinator of the Rams.
I want you to get 100% honest with me.
Yeah.
Can you sit there with a straight face and tell me that of those coaches that were available outside of, I guess, Vrabel and Harbaugh, because he was always going to the Chargers no matter what.
Wow. Yeah. The moment Michigan fucked up. Surprise.
Well, sure.
Surprise.
Who was the best option? It had to have been Belichick, right?
I mean, even with everything I just said, yes. How do you not pick Bill Belichick?
No, that's just what I'm getting at. I'm not getting at the point where you're sitting here telling me that, yeah, it's because he's not young. But
yeah, no, I agree with you.
We know that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's the power of McVay supersedes the longevity of Bill Belichick. It's more or less what we're getting at.
You and Mike brought this up. You said that teams want a 3 to 5 year plan for their head coach. If you're rebuilding, well, even if you're not rebuilding, even if you're trying to reload, You still need 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And Belichick, how many years has this guy got? He's 72 years old.
Well, he would go to 5, 6 easily.
Well, I'm not saying he's not going to live that long. I'm
I'm saying coach. Oh gosh,
oh,
yeah. No,
for
we're
sure.
not
No,
talking about mortality.
I'm not going to talk about anybody
Yeah. No,
downfall, but
I'm talking he would coach to 75, 76.
oh, sure.
I'm just
sure.
thinking the ambiance of Bill is that he's chasing Shula's wins over the creativity of a program.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, you got to think, look at what he did with Mac Jones. Are you Mac Jones was, I think, what was he, the number 1 or number 2 pick? Right? Like, he was in or top 3. I mean, we're talking he's a top 5 draft pick. We'll say that. I know that for sure. So he's a top 5 draft pick. You're talking, you expect him to come in and do that again? He already showed you what he would do with 1 top 5. This is just who Bill is without Tom. And that's okay. That's okay. Players make coaches just as much as coaches make players. But for us to sit here and talk like he's some kind of, the NFL front offices always know more than us fans, right? If we're being real. So
actually,
we're seeing it now.
He was the top 20. He was the top 20 pick. 15th, he got drafted.
15th.
He was the first, middle of the pack, first rounder.
First rounder.
Pretty damn good for.
So about the same spot JJ McCarthy's projected to go.
Yeah, isn't that wild? But do the Chargers have that pick? Who has off the top of your head? Who do you believe has the 15th pick? I mean, the Packers are what 20?
Yeah, I think Seattle's 16th. I think he's probably gonna. If he goes, he's probably gonna go to Seattle. But I can see McCarthy ending up in a Jordan Love situation, which all signs are pointing towards a contract extension in the form of a max ability for Jordan Love, making him one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
I heard this is scuttlebutt, obviously, but I heard that Harbaugh is going to take Marvin Harrison Jr., let Keenan Allen go, pick up Mike Evans, and this team is just going to be a star-studded, loaded thing. But they're going to have to work on their defense for sure. I mean, if they can't let Bosa walk, right? You can't just
you segued me right into it. You segued me right into it. All right, here we go.
That's fine.
I appreciate what was brought to the University of Michigan. I'm very frustrated with the University of Michigan, but as far as everything I'm hearing right now, it's mostly scuttlebutt, so we'll wait to see. Loose lips shall fly. But the bottom line is the Chargers are the Chargers. I mean, and I know that, right? Okay, so guess who's the winningest coach, the winningest active coach all time in the NFL? Who's got the best record right now, like percentage-wise?
Oh, it's Harbaugh.
It's Harbaugh, right?
But he wasn't. But now it is because he's a head coach. But it wasn't before.
Well, yeah, as I said, active.
He had the best winning percentage. Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, I seen what he did with Michigan, and I've kind of seen what he did everywhere else. But in the world of this reality, whatever it is we live in, there's this thing called yin and yang. Okay. And eventually the grass is not greener on the other side. And I believe that's exactly what we're walking into with this Chargers situation.
Or he's going to learn real quick.
Okay. I mean, Harbaugh is great. Harbaugh is an amazing coach, and I love what he's done and all of this. And we can talk about all the great things he was able to do. But I mean, it's not like we're talking about a football messiah here. Okay, the Chargers are a generationally bad organization. It's going to take a lot more than just one head coach coming in and bam, culture's changed. I hear people talking Super Bowl in 2 years. You'll be playoffs in a few years, but the roster, bro, is so terrible.
You know who those fans are, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Those are the LA.
Well, I'm talking even like a top-notch media analyst on specific programs. I mean, it's not just your nilly-willy Twitter fans, right? I mean, we're talking people making millions of dollars a year are sitting here saying the Chargers are going to be Super Bowl in 3 years. It's like for one, you're damn crazy, okay? Because the Texans are really good, and they're only going to get better. The Ravens aren't that old; they're only going to be better. The Cincinnati's great. You've got Aaron Rodgers next year with the Jets. It's like these people get so damn blindfolded into this
I think the
weird
problem is
sense
he's
of
he's
eroticacy.
yes, but he's incredibly well liked, and free agents are going to flock there. They're going to want to play for him. They're going to want to play hard for him.
Yeah, but it's the
He gets,
organization that's trash,
yeah,
right?
but
I
they're.
mean, you're talking
I heard
borderline Arizona.
I heard they took the handcuffs off, or he wasn't going to sign, so he has full
Oh yeah,
control.
yeah, he does. He absolutely and
Well,
absolutely. And
that
who's to
means a
say?
lot. That means a lot because you can't tell me the reason Bill didn't turn the Patriots around is because he didn't have full control.
No, Bill turned the Patriots around because of Tom Brady.
Well, he technically he had another quarterback there that he went to a Super Bowl with before Brady. I mean, Brady finished it off for him, but I think he got there.
No, Bledsoe. No, his second year. It was his second year. Went terrible the first year, and then his second year, they
So
just
Parcells is the one that drafted Bledsoe?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
I
dude.
think Bledsoe's career lasted that long. That's why I thought it was.
I'm telling
I
you,
thought his best
listen, if
years
it
were
wasn't
with,
for Tom Brady, Bill Belichick would have nothing.
well,
There
I
is
mean,
no
I don't
I
think
mean,
there's
because
too
he's
many
played
people
at
that are
this
gonna
point,
argue.
he's almost coached as long without Tom as he has with Tom, and his success only came with Tom.
Hey,
So
there's not going to be too many people out there that are going to disprove that, and they're not going to go against you when you talk about the GOAT
no.
in that scenario right there. Because here's the thing, we talk about this a lot on the show. We talk about the fact that you can point fingers and you can have favorites and you can believe what you want to believe, but stats don't lie, and we say this all the time. He didn't win anything without Brady. We know that.
I
That's
mean,
not
and he
even
didn't draft anything either. Like,
sure.
but I don't know how we got back to Bill. We were talking about the Chargers. If Bill's
Well,
old, he's gone. He's gone. I mean,
how do we get into it? Because I talked that Harbaugh has the same amount of authority with that team as that Belichick had with the Patriots.
oh yeah. Okay, cool. I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, no, that's he wanted that. He had to have wanted that. I mean, that's how you basically build a team is
I
by
think with
having.
Bill, I mean, I think with Bill, I mean, to kind of my final thought on it is, his persona is that he's chasing wins more than he's helping an organization.
Right.
So you're not, and you don't have the resume in the last 5 years to support that. So
True. All right, moving on. I guess what else you got in your tab there?
well,
You
no.
got
It was just to finish the thought on Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. There, I mean, it's going to be interesting. You think that he is going to turn the organization around? I don't think so.
can't get any worse than 5-12, Charles.
Well, okay, so
No,
I guess we should define turn the organization around, right? Because if he goes 8 wins, this is my point, right? If he gets 8 wins a season for the next 5 years, he would have been better off staying at Michigan.
Charles, they were predicted to win like double digits this year. They just shit the bed. They weren't projected to be a bad team.
But that's the organization of the Chargers.
No, that's the coach. That coach was fucking terrible. Staley was awful.
Okay,
Come on.
So what was the problem? Right, but what was the problem with the Chargers before Staley?
They were okay before that.
Telesco was a GM for 11 years. And the only claim to fame he has is a few playoff appearances, drafting Justin Herbert, Joey Bosa, and signing Williams.
There were a few years with LaDainian Tomlinson when they should have been a lot better. They should have been a lot better.
So you hear what's happening, though, right? Like you can hear it coming out of your voice. It's an organization thing.
Yeah, Charles, but they got rid of all that. They don't have control no more. It's Harbaugh's game. This is Harbaugh's play.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen. I think that the grass is not going to be green.
It's on his shoulders. So if it doesn't, it's on his shoulders.
Well, that was the point of what I was saying, though, is that the grass was greener. The grass isn't going to be greener. That ultimately, in the end, the decision to stay at Michigan would have been the better one.
Charles, the door is always open for him to come back, so it's not like it's a really big deal.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, there's no way if he said what he plays 1 year and then lays it off and then goes and does a pregame like Urban Meyer does, and then he says, I want to come back to coach college. Which school do you think he's going to go back to?
Probably not Michigan.
Yeah, I just go back to Michigan. His
The-
terms will be
depending on who's at the top, depending on who's there. I mean, from what I've been reading, the University of Michigan waited until Jim was about to sign the papers with the Chargers to give him the language he wanted in the contract.
less than 24 hours. That's bullshit to me. I don't even understand.
Okay, so again, if that's how I'm being treated, I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, but
if I want to go back to college, I'm going somewhere else. I've already done what I wanted to do at Michigan.
We played this game. We know exactly what that school's doing.
Yeah,
we love that. We love that school. But
I said it a few moons ago, bro. There was a powerful donor who did not like Harbaugh, and I guess he or she is very powerful.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter what that we'll call him a boner, not a donor. That boner doesn't even allow to give the players. The players deserve to be paid. They deserve to have NIL money. The fact that they have to do a collective with the kids doing can drives and autograph drives, and you have to have Blake Corum out there handing out turkeys and stuff and giving away his NIL money in order to get a little bit of pub out there for the school to show that these kids do care. And we get those kind of players here. And then they talk about him cheating and they talk about all this other BS. We have good character at our school, regardless of what you want to think, whether it be JJ, Blake, Donovan. I heard so many good things about Donovan Edwards.
Well, I mean, you gotta, that's the internet trolls, bro. Like, I mean,
I know
you don't just like
with these people.
I know, man. That's the internet trolls. You don't walk into a normal conversation and hear people talking the way
I think it's funny. I mean, we don't beg for clicks. We just try to have fun. But I don't think they would last 5 minutes in a room between the two of us if they had to sit there and try to have a conversation. That's the funny part.
They wouldn't last in a normal room anywhere. That's why they do what they do on the internet.
No, because it's deflection, it's arrogance, it's irritation that comes out of their mouth. These things that they say, they pick. You guys are playing highlights from 5 years ago, playing Michigan. That's how far back you had to go to find good plays. I mean, that's not good. If you got to go back that far.
You gotta stay away.
We had 80 years at Michigan, and guess what? We just sat there and took it. When you guys were whooping our ass, we sat there and took it. But you guys can't take it. That's the sad thing. Those Ohio State fans cannot take a loss. They can't handle it. It just drives them nuts.
That should have been what grinds my gears.
It doesn't even grind my gears because I'm at the point now where
it definitely rotates your gear
every day with me. It's every day. No, it doesn't bother me. I laugh it off most of the time. I do clack back a little bit every now and then, but it's not in anger. I'm not mad at any of these people. I just poke fun at them. That's all. It's not a negative sense. I don't hate any of these people. Like I said, I hate the school.
No, I'm talking about, dude, you just went off for like 3 or 4 minutes about fucking random Ohio State trolls. I'm sorry I brought you there. That's why I was like, bro, it kind of sounds like you got to
just on blast. I put him on blast.
I'm sorry,
Charles. That was my.
I'm sorry I brought you there. I've been trying to get through this coaching thing, this coaching carousel that's coming up. I mean, we're 35 minutes and a bunch.
Harbaugh for 5 minutes without me bringing up Ohio State. So,
yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about Harbaugh a lot. He's with the Chargers now, and if you think he's going to turn the organization around, and I don't, we're definitely going to talk about the Chargers. It's something we're going to keep a close eye on. So here are some of the top defensive coordinators in the NFL who are currently available. Leslie Frazier. He's a 4-3 guy.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of these guys that are going to get jobs aren't available because they're on teams right now.
Right. This is just who's available.
None of those guys are any good, so I don't want any of those for the Packers.
Steve Wilkes?
I don't want any of those. There's only one name I want, Charles, and his name is Vrabel.
See, now you're on board. Now that he's not getting.
I don't want, and he's not getting a head coaching job, so why not?
No, he needs. So when he was at his best, we'll just get right to it. This was where I was trying to get, anyways.
I brought you here. You brought me there. I brought you here.
Yeah, I love it. Let's do it. Yeah. No, now that Vrabel has been, because I mean, I guess the scuttlebutt is even with the blowout to Green Bay, Dan Quinn is looking like he's going to be up in Seattle. Eric's probably going to be in Washington. We called it on the Panthers. It was going to be a no name that needed to create some kind of magic for himself and that team.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens in Carolina for Bryce Young's sake, anyways. But it's
that might be
looking
good for him. That might be good for Bryce Young. He's kind of a quarterback whisperer a little bit. So
yeah,
we'll
I agree. I
what
agree.
happens there.
We've had some big names go. We have yet to see names like Ben Johnson off the table though. So once
Ben Johnson is in the playoffs, and he's been taking interviews like over the phone, but he can't take any in-person interviews until after the playoffs.
So we'll have to see what happens with that. I believe the Ben Johnson chip is going to be the chip before Vrabel. It's an offensive-driven league. Ben Johnson is offense now. Vrabel is offense with a good coordinator, right? So he's going to need a good coordinator. The time Vrabel was making magic, guess who his coordinator was? Matt LaFleur, doing magical things in Green Bay.
Yeah, there's this really big thing that ties in a bunch of these Miami assistants. There was Campbell, there was Vic Fangio. I think Ben, the guy for the Lions that you just talked about. Ben Johnson came from Miami system. A lot of these guys came from Miami system, which is crazy.
All of them come from the Shanahan system.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it all stems from that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the grandfather. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, all of these people have basically worked. I mean, the start of the tree all worked for Mike. And then the branching off of that tree stemmed from McDaniels and
well, there's a photo, Shanahan. And I think it's from like 2010 or 2012. It's like 10 or 11 years ago. And it's just a photo of like all these guys. And a lot of them are really young, like Mike McDaniel's there. Yeah. All these guys are super young. And it's like, these guys are basically like,
isn't it crazy that Mike
40% of the head coaches in the NFL?
Yeah. And that's the route you're taking, you know. Vrabel's a really good coach. Vrabel's a really good coach, but he's a really good defensive coach in an offensive league. So, like we were talking a couple of days ago, I think I'm feeling some magic happening. I think it might be in Vrabel's best interest to DC for a few years, just like it was Dan Quinn. I mean, Dan Quinn was a head coach at one point in time.
Yeah, well,
I think he was for the Saints, wasn't he, or the Falcons? It was the Falcons.
Dan Quinn was with sounds like the Falcons to me. Yeah,
so, I mean, it would be really well. It would be good for him. It would be good for Green Bay. It'd be great for Matt. He'd finally get a defensive-oriented, you know.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem
be
too.
Real nice.
We talked about this. This was in our group chat with the boys.
Yeah.
The Heat Check guys, that Heat Check podcast. Check those guys out. Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of these guys will just get jobs. Like some of these head coaches got jobs. I told you guys, it's like they pick a fucking straw out of a hat and say, "Hey, you get a job. You get a job. You get a job." It's terrible. I mean,
these guys have no experience whatsoever. And that's something we had mentioned too. You know, we weren't celebrating the firing of an individual. For one, they're millionaires, they're fine. And two, they're in an industry that is like recycling a jug of plastic. You know,
they're not
just going to make another jug of plastic and make another jug of plastic. And eventually it disappears. So it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out. Now, on to you have a few things also on your docket. Let's knock them out. I believe the would you rather, and there was something else.
Oh yeah, I've got a college would you rather.
Yeah. I love this. Let's do this. I'm yelling at myself in the background with Facebook open. Let me open this up and let's see a few things. Old people driving in the city. Yeah. Yeah, that's so bad, dude. That's so bad.
Yeah, these were a lot of the ones that I came up with because I was arguing with the guy about the pre and post BCS eras and before the Big Ten. All right, what was better? Would you rather have the Big Ten pre-expansion
Uh-huh.
or the Big Ten now?
The Big Ten now.
You think you'd rather the Big Ten now than when it was like
Yeah.
9 teams, not even 10, and they called it the Big Ten?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather it now. The product on the field is going to be way better.
Would you rather have back when it was the BCS or the future, what it's going to be like in 2027?
Oh, definitely for the future. That BCS stuff was ridiculous.
So
The only thing that did was make a handful of bowl games relevant. The rest of the bowl games were, let's not act like all of the bowl games were relevant when it was just that old BCS style, right?
well,
It
they
was
weren't
still only like 8 or 9 bowl games that were like magical. And
Yeah, but
maybe
we watched
6
them.
really.
We watched those games. We cared though. Fans don't care now to watch them.
I don't know why they don't care. There's
one of
almost
the-
no difference. In fact, the playoff now puts more into it. Unless you're one of these 6 and 8 schools or whatever the hell it is that laid eggs all season anyways, my opinion.
I think there's going to be less bowl games, but like you said, they're not going to get rid of them. What they're going to
No.
do is probably combine some of them so that they can get maybe they'll have some like what about mini playoffs for bowl games?
I think it'll ultimately just come down to like an NIT style.
That's what I'm
Playoff
saying.
system,
and then they get 16 teams on each side that play in 16 bowl games, and then those teams play for a chance to go to
I mean, I
a
guess
different bowl game. I don't know.
here, my my ultimate stance on it is if you're not in the 12, it doesn't matter to me.
No, it's not going to matter.
I'm not going out of my way to catch the game. There's nothing about that game that is going to stop my every day from occurring so I can watch that football game.
I can guarantee you next season that a top 8 team, a team between 8 and 12 is going to knock off a top seed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can almost guarantee that's going to happen because they want this. They want crazy, chaos. They live for it. ESPN lives for it. CBS lives for it. Fox lives for it. They love it. They love chaos. They love talking about it.
And but I mean, the ultimate thing here, right, is nobody really cared until the 6 bowl games occur, right? Well, now everybody's going to care for a lot longer. You're going to be watching meaningful college football.
I think
at
they're going
the
to
1st of December instead of December 23rd.
Oh yeah, it's going to make things a lot more interesting. That's for sure.
So as a college football fan who was upset that the bowl games are just there now for gambling, this takes all of that away. This gives you 6 more matchups. It gives you 2.5 more weeks of meaningful football.
All right, Charles, here's another. Yeah. I got 2 more. This is one that I think is a pretty easy one if you're a dedicated fan, and it's a pretty difficult one if you're just I don't give a shit fan. Yeah. Hypothetically, would you rather have your team be competitive for the next 10 seasons and then lose for the next 20 years, or rather win for the next 20 years but never see a championship? So basically, it comes down to for 10 seasons,
okay,
you have.
So I have to. I'm thinking.
10 seasons, you would be in the playoffs, like the final 12.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what
the other 20 seasons, you would be okay, but you never would make it.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking the never make it one, because my thought process behind it is, how dare I steal the potential memory of a championship win for millions or thousands of other people? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and I've got a question for you after you're done with this as well.
Yeah. No, go ahead. That's more or less.
No, I want you to finish answering that because what I ask you next is going to explain everything about that question.
Yeah, no, I choose the one where
You
you've got,
choose that. You choose competitive, right?
yeah,
Competitiveness. You want to
yeah.
be in there to compete. Then why do we have 300 and some? Why do we have 200 and some schools when only we know for a fact only 60 some of them can compete for even an opportunity for a national championship?
That's out, dude. That's about the kids, man.
No,
That's
no,
about the kid.
I get that.
That's about the kids, and you can't. I mean, you can't just take that away from the kids.
Yeah, but what are they playing for? They're playing for nothing, is what I'm saying. There's no dream
When were
when you're
they
playing
ever
for
playing
nothing.
for anything, though?
So, Charles, no. You don't get what I'm saying.
No,
I'm
I don't.
saying that there doesn't need to be that many Division One teams. Make them a different division.
But in the world of college football, Division 2 gets less than Division 1. So that's what I mean. I don't. I am. I guess I am still a little confused because if this
No,
was
it's not
if this was
completely
professional
fair.
sport, if this was professional sports, yeah, dude, I totally understand. But
Well,
it's
division you say that the Division Ones get more, but not only the top get more. I'm telling Youngstown State does not get the same amount of money as Michigan or Michigan State or Alabama does. They don't even get the
wow, no,
same
no, no,
treatment.
no. That might not be true. Now, Michigan and Michigan State and
100%
all those
accurate.
schools. No, listen, they get more money from the media and shit like that, absolutely. But from the actual NCAA, there's probably a foundation, and in fact, the bigger schools probably have to fill the pot with their overflow.
Only the teams they play though, because that's where you get into those Michigan paid what was it? What was the Appalachian State one? They paid them like $1 million or
Yeah, they
something
paid
like
them a
that to come
buttload of
in.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you hear about that
No,
often.
I do
Absolutely.
get that part of it, and they can still play those games. But what I'm saying is, we don't need 200
What
teams
is
in
it? But
Division One
I guess arguably though, what does it matter if there is? Like what are we getting that
because this is
that
why we get 35 bowl games that don't matter. Because half these schools we don't even recognize.
I don't know, man. I guess I'm having a hard time following you because for me it's about the kids. And even
Yeah,
if
but
you're even if you're
you're
a
still
six
playing
and
at
ten
the end of
dude,
the
even if
day.
you're a 6-8 team playing in a bowl game, you win that bowl game, you're going to remember that the rest of your life, even
Yeah,
if
but
nobody watched it.
Yeah, but I'm still saying there's 200 and some teams that are never going to compete. Never going to compete. Why can't they have their own division? There's
There's
more than
not
enough money.
200 teams that go into the bowl games, though.
No, but there doesn't even need to be that many. We talked about this. There doesn't need to be that many damn teams. There's too many in college
Like I
football.
said, I mean that's a stance you're more than welcome to. I don't understand it. I don't see where having them hurts and where not having them helps. Because I
What do you mean
mean,
it doesn't have it? Because it's pointless to have that many teams. It doesn't because eventually the teams are only going to play their own conferences anyway because the conferences are going to be so big.
I know,
That's
but
what
you're
I'm saying. It's
saying
not going to matter at some point. You're saying this, but you don't understand. They're not going to matter anymore because they're not going to play them. There's not going to be a non-conference schedule anymore. Once they combine, the Big Ten is going to be like 17, 18 teams. They're not even going to be able to play a non-conference game until they play a bowl game.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how to continue this portion of it. Right? There's no legitimate reason in my mind for or against having them. It doesn't matter. It never mattered before. It doesn't matter now. Who cares if they play a bowl game on goddamn November 29th? Who cares? Why does it matter that much? I guess that's my point.
Because it doesn't need to be those
them not being there, does that mean other money gets to go to other schools? That's what I'm getting at. Is there some like
Those schools don't even
beneficial
need the money.
gain other than a different form of television?
I can tell you why and what it would do. And it's something that you talked about earlier because this was brought up with the government taking their foot out of their mouth and they're going to control the NIL. They would be the ones to come in and say, well, only this many schools are going to be able to allow this much money. And then they're going to be like, okay, well, these guys can't spend a penny because they got no money.
That's not how it would be regulated.
Yeah, it would. Because
no. That's like just because you can make more money doesn't mean
Put it in perspective this way. They say Lane Kiffin came out with his with his hands up in the air and said, Ohio State spent $13 million.
Right.
How many other schools in the country you think could spend $13 million on like 8 players?
Well, one of the barbaric rules
No, I'm just,
of
I
sport.
get
No,
what
one
you're
of the
saying.
barbaric rules of sports with scouting is because the other schools couldn't afford that. So I hear
Exactly.
what you're saying.
I'm not
But
saying they're going to get rid of these schools, Charles. I'm just saying that is what the scuttlebutt is that it's going to basically shame these other schools because they can't afford to get recruits. Is basically what it's going to come down to. They're basically just going to give the middle finger to all these other, these athletes. So they're going to make them feel like they can't compete.
so the alternative would be to just
I
get
don't,
rid of them.
no, not. I didn't say get rid of them. I said they just
Go
don't. They
well,
don't
no,
need
well, get rid of them or moving them to their
no,
other
no, 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 no,
division.
no.
You're removing
I
them
said,
and putting them in
no,
another
no, no,
name.
no, no. I didn't even say that. I said just don't schedule them. They're not going to play them anymore. I didn't say they're getting rid of them.
Well,
They're
then
just
who
not
would
going to
they
play them
then
anymore.
who would they play?
Each other.
What,
There's plenty of them.
Well, then what does it matter if they're labeled D1 or not?
This all comes down to the money that is involved with the Big Ten's new contract.
With
I think
media,
I think it is up in like I think it's got like another 5 or 6 years or something. But you were talking about how they remember the Pac-12 one, how that guy totally screwed the pooch on that one.
Yes, yeah.
They're talking about the new one for the Big Ten could possibly be well in excess of $1 billion. Because I think what the SEC one was well over $1 billion. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, they put a good football product down and millions of people watch, I mean, hell, you had over 73 million viewers in 3 Michigan games. So yeah, people are going to pay to advertise for that. Oh yeah.
No, I'm just saying that they're basically these schools are going to the small schools are going to get screwed because they won't play those schools to get that $1 million anymore. They're going to have to find other ways to,
Well, I mean, there's lots going against that also. The fact that it is a playoff, that you don't have to be undefeated, that you can have 2 or 3 losses.
Oh,
So you don't have to schedule the easy games in the beginning.
What do you think the rankings are going to be?
If you look at Alabama's schedule, dude, I mean, the only tough people they play are the ones that are inside the SEC. I mean, it's the same thing for, I guess, Michigan. The only ones tough teams they play are the ones inside the Big Ten. You're going to match up come playoff time. That's more or less what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I guess what I was getting at, and that got you all frustrated, was just the fact that they're just not going to play each other anymore. So I said, they just won't schedule them, but they're still going to have to give them a piece of the pie when it comes to the end of the season. When like you said, when bowl games come around, there's got to be profit sharing at some point, as far as all.
Yeah, schools. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you make money for making it to a bowl. Dude, there's lots. There's lots involved with that. With all of it.
To stop,
but the relevancy of the bowl game. Is no greater. Well, I mean, the relevancy of the bowl game is no greater than what it will be next year. Then the relevancy of the bowl game has never been as great as people have, or a majority of people have attempted to yell about, in my opinion.
No, you've brought this up many times. It's a gambling fad.
Yeah, I mean, that's all they've really ever been. Now, instead of 6 important games, we're getting 12. Or I'm sorry, 8 important games. We're getting like 16. Yeah, we're getting 16 important games.
Yeah, you could add them up over 6 plus whatever, plus whatever. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's doubling. So arguably, you're going to get better football all season, and you're going to get better football at the end of the season. It's going to be better in its own sense.
We have to plan a trip out to Vegas for next year when these playoffs go on.
It'll be
one of them's got to be at Allegiant. One of them's got to be at Allegiant, Charles.
Yeah.
Have they put the destinations out yet for any of these bowl games or no?
No, I don't even think.
Sorry, I got you all hot and heated. I wasn't trying to say to get rid of them. I was just saying.
I mean, I was just a little confused. I'm sitting here and I'm like, bro, what does it matter if they're there or if they're not there? Nobody's getting less money because these schools are there. They all get the same regardless.
I'm just saying that the way the conference alignments are going, that eventually all these teams will be phased out.
Well, and again, I was confused because it's not even eventually. Like, you can look at next year's schedule already, and it's already like that. Big Ten schools are playing Big Ten schools, and SEC schools, for the most part, are playing SEC schools, except they've got some really weird schools lined in because the SEC isn't as big as the Big Ten.
Well, and the reason they'll never get rid of the D1 thing too is because, dude, basketball is wild, especially this year. There's some really good
Well,
weird basketball teams this
there's
year.
a little bit of confusion too, because really the only thing that makes you a D1 school is the amount of money
Money
you
that you
put
put
into
into your
your
sports
athletic
program.
program.
Yes,
So
yes, I know.
So yeah, I mean that's great news too, because the more schools that are that get the D1 status, that
Yeah.
means more schools are putting money towards their student athletes.
Oh, it's
Right.
absolutely
So
perfect. Like I know you said it was about the
right.
athletes, and I get that.
Yeah.
I know the schools are doing the best they can. It's just
Right.
that
Oh,
I
okay. Well, no, I do. We both know the greedy motherfucker.
I
Yeah,
know,
no, I didn't mean to get it that far. Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
greedy.
right here in Oshkosh, we heard
Yeah,
all
yeah.
about it. The fact that
Nonprofit, my ass. Yeah, pay
yeah,
taxes and
yeah,
shit. Yeah. No,
They
no,
did-
no.
how did they make they embezzled like $30 million and pissed it away at the UW Oshkosh here
Yeah,
locally? Like that's
yeah.
unbelievable to me. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
account for it,
hey
apparently.
man, grants out the A.
Yeah.
Well, we're running up here, so let's let's
Super
let's
Bowl.
let's let's
Super
let's
Bowl
let's
again.
what's that?
I said at the end we gotta do our Super Bowl again.
Well, let's just do the Super Bowl. We'll save the nail cutting and everything for a later time.
Well, we can do that on Sunday if you want to do it on
Yeah,
Sunday.
it don't matter to me. There's
I
lots of
mean,
radio
we can
left.
we can do it early Sunday because the games start at 2.
Yeah, we would have to. Well, yeah, and I got yeah,
You
and I
gotta
got
eat all
dinner
that
with the
jerky.
I
You
got
got all that
dinner with the
jerky in your
in-laws too. I got dinner with the in-laws too. So
Well, we can do it Saturday. We can do it tomorrow night. That doesn't matter.
yeah,
We can do it
yeah.
tomorrow afternoon. That's fine with me. We're good.
We got lots of radio time left.
All right. What do we got going on? All right. I know you picked the opposite of what I picked. We're polar opposites when it comes to our picks for the Super Bowl. But have your feelings changed since we talked on Thursday?
No, if anything, I'm leaning more heavily towards San Francisco.
You're more of
Yeah.
less than a 50-50 now. You're more
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, it's
leaning
like,
more.
I'm at 70-30. I
Is
give
Debo
San
playing?
Francisco 70. Yeah, Debo's playing.
Debo's playing? Okay, yeah. Well, I would definitely lean towards San Francisco, but I'm still rolling with the Lions.
Yeah, and I mean that's a good choice, man. It's a good choice. San Francisco at home, 6-3. Lions on the road, 6-3. You know, I mean it's
I
a
really
good
like
choice.
that Stans versus Swifties meme. That freaking thing's great.
Yeah,
Be
it's just
fantastic.
yeah. And then on the opposite side of this too, I mean, it's absolutely nothing against the Ravens. I love the Ravens.
So
I
many
had them
people are.
hot,
Come on, pull it.
but
Pull that
but the
card.
thing is that
Pull that card.
you know, I
Yeah.
mean, damn, dude, he's been to 6 straight AFC Championship games. Kansas City, you just got to bet on what you know in this scenario. You want
Yeah.
a different story. You would love for Lamar to get there. You really would, but I did not see the hype from the first game. And like I said on the Heat Check podcast, the fact that the second half adjustments for Lamar Jackson was to stop throwing the ball past 8 yards down the field.
Yeah.
That's because they were playing a Texas team that shouldn't have been there. This is Kansas City. This is a different ball game. They know how to play. They know where to play, and they have been tested in these playoffs. Baltimore has not been tested yet. San Francisco survived.
Yeah, I've got pressure. I have the ability to not think with my heart and think with my head on this game because I have no skin in the game either way with the Lions or with the 49ers or Baltimore or Kansas City. I do believe though that Baltimore's defense is much better than anything Kansas City's faced this year.
Yes.
Even better than San Francisco's defense.
I agree.
Who's the best win for Kansas City this season? What's the best team they played that they beat?
I don't have a regular season pick for you in that regards because I'm just right now. The regular season Kansas City Chiefs would have lost to the Buffalo Bills, right? And so this is playoff. This is playoff Kansas City, in my opinion. This is playoff Kansas City. But I guess their biggest win.
I was trying to. I'm just trying to think off the top of my
That's what I'm
head.
saying. I mean, if we're basing it off of the regular season, I mean,
I guess is it the Bengals?
they were probably broken. Joe Burrow was probably out.
I'm just saying,
you're not gonna find that fish you're looking for in the regular season with Kansas City.
I'm just saying, it's just it is what it is.
Yeah,
And I think Lamar can move his feet.
I mean,
get some pressure. I think they're okay. I actually think they're going to win pretty easily at home. They're bringing out the big dogs. They're bringing out Michael Phelps is going to be there. Freaking all these ex-Ravens, Terrell Suggs. I mean, you got all these guys coming for this game. I mean, surprised they don't whip out Flacco for this game. Come on, bring Flacco back for God's sakes. Bring them all back.
How many drops has Kansas City had in the playoffs? Not a lot. In fact, it would be argued the teams they're playing against seem to drop the ball now more often.
Kelsey had quite a few the other night. He had at least 3. But he also had 2 touchdowns. So,
Stephon Diggs had a major drop. My point is, dude, is that the Kansas City team playing in the playoffs is not the Kansas City team we saw in the regular season.
Well, dude,
the same thing is said about Green Bay. Do you think Green Bay in the regular season would have went to San Francisco and won the game for 59 minutes?
They would have lost by 20 points.
They would have lost by 40 fucking points. I mean, we're talking playoffs, man. This is a different animal. And the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs, outside of one magical year with a defense nobody is comparing this defense to. This defense is good, but nobody's comparing it to that Ray Lewis defense, which Joe Flacco ended up being the Super Bowl MVP anyway.
I don't think there's really there's no superstars on that defense.
Well, Raquan Smith and
he was a free agent. I mean,
I know. You ain't got to tell me nothing. The defense plays good.
He's okay.
The product I saw on the field, CJ Stroud was not ready to be there, and he didn't have. It's like you're going to be playing Patrick Mahomes, man. That's why I've got. I mean, that's why I'm not trying to talk you into Kansas City. Hell, that's why I've got Kansas City.
I'm not. No, I am calling Lamar and the Ravens are going to shut that team right down. I think they're going to win by 10 plus.
Yeah,
I think they're going to win by 10 plus.
The Ravens need to win. For one, I mean, the storyline that everyone has been holding on to so frivolously, I'm probably butchering that word, so I'll just move on to another one. The storyline people are holding on to so tightly, we'll say. I'll just go with that word. Such an ugly word. Is that, it's like Lamar's never been to the playoffs before. That's not true. Lamar's been to the playoffs a handful of times, and he has not performed well. In fact, with his spectacular game against the Texans, he still has more interceptions than touchdowns in the playoffs, right? I mean, and when the game had came down to the line all season long, Lamar was not able to front the bill. In fact, you heard lots of scuttle about his contract.
See your
but
MVP.
when the defense played the same way Dallas's defense played and allowed that offense to be up front, it was a little bit of a different story. But when that defense is playing from behind, and Steve Spagnuolo there, they've got the defense to hold the spy. You know what I'm saying? When you've got that spy, you're in man coverage a lot. Guess who loves playing man coverage? Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City got burned against a really bad Bills rushing attack, though, as well. So, and I tell you what, Lamar is way better than Josh.
There was that 52-yard run. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but my thing is that like Josh Allen, I think Lamar Jackson is a better overall package than Josh Allen. But in the playoffs, Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson so far. We'll see what tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah, it is. It's tomorrow.
No, they're both Sunday.
They're both Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting as hell, I think.
But Mark Andrews is back. That's going to be a big target for Lamar. He hasn't had him the last 6 weeks or 5 weeks or 4 weeks. I don't know.
Mark Andrews being back is great.
Mark Andrews.
Listen, betting on the Ravens isn't a bad bet, right?
Well, they're the favorite. They're the
I
better
think that,
team,
yeah,
for sure. Like it's
for the second time ever, Patrick, or what is it, second or third time ever?
I'm not a
Patrick
jump your
Mahomes
nuts.
is an
I'm not a
under.
Patrick Mahomes jump your nuts person. I'm not a don't like the guy. I'm just I feel like it's over. I feel like this is their last hurrah.
Right.
Like I don't know why I feel that way, and don't even ask me to explain it. I just feel like
No,
it's
the feelings are, they're gut feel. We watch a lot of sports. This is what happens when you watch a lot of sports.
watch
Let's
way
see,
too
who did
much.
they lose to today? Who did they lose to this season? They lost to the Colts, they lost to the Steelers, and they lost to Cleveland. So they lost to playoff teams. They're
Yeah.
playing a playoff team. So yeah, I mean, there's lots going on there.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. They're also at home and they got the big crowd. They got all that emotion.
That
There's
crowd is electric too.
the,
Yeah,
the
I mean,
crowd
well, for
nuts.
one, it's not like we have any money on it or anything
I don't
along
have
those
any, like I
lines.
said, no skin in the game
No
except for
skin
the
at
fact,
all.
Charles, that we got bragging rights going on
Yeah.
here. It's like,
Yeah.
you get to tell me that that you should. It's fucking Patrick Mahomes. Exactly right there. Yeah, you can just point at it. I get that ring out. I
Arguably,
get that ring out to you too.
the only reason I'm so heavy on Kansas City, right?
Patrick
All
Mahomes.
all you really heard me talk about is the negative things I portray on the Ravens and nothing about Kansas City. My only thing with Kansas City is that it's Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
and Travis Kelce, and Rashid Rice, and Pacheco.
Right.
And Pacheco is running
Oh, he's
crazy.
definitely
He's
playing
averaging
really,
almost
really
5
good.
yards a carry. That
Oh, he's
offense
playing
is
really
running
good.
through. It's just
Yeah.
it's not going to be this drop it to 8 yards short. You're going to be playing 60 minutes of football. And so far this season with the Ravens, and again, though, too, it's the same bill with Kansas City. Oh, you're not going to find that with the Kansas City Chiefs. So the playoffs are different.
Oh, right. Absolutely.
So, but during the regular season, when the game was on the line, Mr. 88 million didn't come through. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it does. The storyline for him will become so much better. So, and I'll take that pill. I'll take it. I'd love to see him do great, but you got to bet on Patty, man. You got to bet on Patty
until he lets you down. You got to bet on him until he lets you down, right?
So before we wrap this up, one of the crazy things about these fingernail clippers, do you know, like the actual fingernail clipper itself wasn't like until, what was it, like 1770?
Well, I guess they were just using their freaking teeth, eh? They're just pulling their
and then
cavemen and just gnawing on that sucker, or what?
When you dig a little bit further into it, there was like 8th century BC, right, over in like the Asia area.
Yeah.
And we'll dig a little bit more into the next episode, but it wasn't until like the 14th century that it got brought over to England, and that's when like the kings and queens and shit were using it. But bro, what the hell were people doing? What the hell were people doing before fingernail clippers, dude?
If you just look up hygiene alone, like hygiene products, and like start looking at it, you're probably going to be disappointed and disgusted.
I know, dude. Trust me.
It's soap. When do you think soap was invented?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna this season. This season, these are things we're deep diving into, bro.
I can imagine that, like, well, not even soap, like what's like antiseptic type soap, like soap that like kills bacteria, because they've been scrubbing dirt and stuff all over their bodies forever.
Well, that's like being a goat, being a doctor in like the 1600s.
Yeah.
Smack your face with some mud, take 3 shots of whiskey, and sleep the ghost out your blood.
That was the old toothache thing. It wasn't that long ago, wasn't it? The 1800s, they were giving them. It was cocaine and Coca-Cola. Like, they would just like give you this stuff, put it in your mouth.
Okay, so are we being real though? Like, let's is medicine better today, or was it cooler yesterday? I'm just saying, like, you weren't upset when you got sick.
Come here there and have some of my steak oil.
You probably tried to get sick. Shit, I never get more work done when I come back from the doctors. Every time I catch that flu, I go get a couple of them little cough syrup thingies, and I cruise for 5 days. 5 days, I just go home. I ain't got to sleep. Listen, thank you so much for Thank you so much for clicking, for liking, for subscribing, for commenting, for listening, for watching, for sharing. We appreciate all of it. Don't forget, you can check out all of our sweet merchandise. Whenever something new pops off, there's always something wild going on at Boys in the Woods 906.shop. That's Boys in the Woods 906.shop.
Make sure to check out all the links down in the show notes. And as always, we love you all. Go Lions.